Councillors, I declare the meeting open at 6:31 p.m. Thank you, Councillor Hughes.
Thank you.
Matter of urgency.
A matter of urgency, yes. I do have concern of urgency. It is an issue that has started to confound enormously in the Lidcombe area, and it needs to be addressed very, very soon. If people need to leave the room, there could be an attachment to a DA that is there, but it is an issue that needs to be addressed. On
Councillor Hughes, if you could just wait till Councillor Sarkis and Councillor Coleman return. I understand. You might.
You can go out.
Said it may
be the only one.
What does the DA about Lidcombe, isn't it?
I said that it could be attached as part of that.
Councillors, Councillor Elmore, that's not for you to ask. Stay in your seat until we determine what this is about.
There is an ongoing matter that has been occurring for some time, for a very short time. However, it is getting worse enormously.
Can we see a motion, Councillor Hughes? Because I've got to determine whether or not it's urgent first.
The urgency is associated with potential. Yes. Right. With potential of a forward reporting that will occur. There is that DA. It does close on the 14th of July. It has got an enormous amount of traffic issues, and at the moment there is not much availability of what Council does or doesn't have within its reporting.
You could just give me a minute to read it, Councillor Hughes, because the first thing we have to do is work out whether or not this is an urgent matter. Protection of future capacity loads. On the Councillor Hughes, I'm reading this pretty carefully. On the face of it, it's not time sensitive, and even if it was, the work that you're requiring could not be done as rapidly as you would want it to be done.
That's more the reason
and that's
bringing it
the
forward,
issue.
because it will take some time, and there is a lot of ongoing issues, and certainly some in the very near future. That is why I'd rather have it start in the immediacy.
Mayor, sorry to interrupt. I can't make out what Councillor Hughes is saying.
Okay,
why don't you learn to use technology, as you once told me?
Councillors, it's very difficult dealing with four of you on the screen. Can you please allow us? Councillor Hughes will bring the microphone closer to her and attempt to.
Well, Madam Mayor, I can hear Councillor Hughes very clearly, so the mic doesn't need to be adjusted.
You're in a different place to Councillor Hammett. Thank you. Councillor.
Madam Mayor, while you have obviously...
I can hear her here. She's loud and clear.
Yeah,
there is no time frame associated with that.
Maybe put up your volume.
Yeah, let's sing Solidarity Forever, shall we?
Go Gravel.
Councillors, if you continue to
maybe
cross-debate, I can easily turn you off. Can you please stop cross-debate whilst we listen to Councillor Hughes? Thank you.
Well, listen to Councillor...
Please, councillors, it's a very easy process for me to press a button. Can I ask you all to be quiet and listen to Councillor Hughes, who's addressing me on the urgency of the matter? Thank you. Thank you, Councillor.
So you have indicated that there is not a time frame, but it is, and that it would take a period of time, and that is the immediacy needed because of the fact that it will take a period of time to be done. And additionally, that obviously because of a circumstance that is underway at the moment, that does have a closing date in the very near future of that particular thing. Also, this was raised at a community meeting held on the weekend. So that has been given to me accordingly by community addressing these concerns. And we need to have the detail available to understand what traffic movement is permissible and the ingress and egress. And at the moment, some of the streets are just packed with trucks parked there continuously, and we're talking 15-metre plus sizing. So the reality of all of this occurring really needs to be addressed before anything future proceeds, and that's why I've brought it forward as an urgent matter.
Thank you. Councillor Hughes, as it is written, I can't be compelled to consider it as a matter of urgency. However, I'll give you an opportunity to draft the scope of that into something much more narrow and perhaps more relevant to what you're seeking, and I'd be prepared to consider that as urgent. If we stand the matter in the list, perhaps, while we deal with other matters, if you want to have another look at what you're suggesting here, and we might be able to see our way through to accepting the urgency of it.
Well, I think that all the matters that are there do need to be included. We cannot discount any of them because of the circumstances that will be occurring in the very near future.
Thank you. Then,
potentially.
Councillor Hughes, given the depth and the breadth of that matter, certainly you've put the council on notice that you are seeking that information, but I'll ask that the motion be filed and proper notice be given. Thank you. There's significant resources involved.
I move dissent.
Thank you, Councillor Garrard. You have you wish to deal with the dissent motion. Can you please advise as to your reasons?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I do move dissent from your ruling. The motion that Councillor Hughes has put up tonight most appropriately comes from a public meeting highlighting public concern about a development application which is before this council. Now, I would ask the General Manager if he might be able to ask the relevant officers who might be associated in any fashion or form to leave the room so this matter can be discussed.
Councillor Garrard, if you're asking us for the officers to leave the room so that the matter can be discussed, I assume that's because you wish to discuss a particular development application, and if that's the case, we need to take the matter into closed council.
No, we don't. We don't, Madam Chair.
Councillor,
we don't, Madam Chair.
That is my ruling.
I bring to your notice I bring to your notice the operational procedures of the Sydney Planning Panel on 11.13 that says that an elected council may make submissions on DAs. It says here, and if that's the case, there's no reason why the matter can't be discussed. It says here, however, the council officers associated with the DA can't have any part in it. That's why they've been asked to leave.
Madam Mayor.
Councillor, the issue, and in reply to your submission, if you take a seat, whilst I understand that submissions can be made by councils on DAs, the concern I have is in relation to the Code of Conduct. The Code of Conduct in Part 7 talks about councillors must not in any public forum or private forum direct or influence or attempt to direct or influence any other member of the staff of the council in the exercise of their functions as a staff member.
And that's why they've been asked to leave, so they cannot be influenced.
In that respect, therefore, I do not wish the matter to be publicly available, which would mean that it was then available to the staff.
Madam Mayor.
That's the
Madam
issue.
Mayor. Madam Mayor.
I can't, Councillor Huang. The dissent motion is between myself
Madam Mayor, can I all desist because Point 9.5
Councillor
rules
Huang.
say a motion of dissent cannot be moved against a rule.
Madam Mayor,
can get around
Councillor Hung cannot be heard. Can you just rule, please, Madam Mayor?
If your ruling is to take
Councillor Hung, you are not chairing the meeting.
if your ruling is to take it in the closed committee, I haven't got a problem.
Thank you, Councillor. We will now go into closed council. Thank you. Move Councillor Cummings, seconded Councillor Sarkis, that the matter proceed into closed council, relying on
Madam Mayor,
Section,
can I ask?
no, relying on Section 10A 2D, commercial information of a confidential nature that would, if disclosed, prejudice the commercial position of a person who supplied it or confer a commercial advantage on a competitor of the council.
Madam Mayor, can I have a point of order before we go move it into, because this is relevant.
Yes, Councillor Huang.
What ground is Councillor Garrard moving?
State your point of order. State your point of order.
Councillor...
9.5. Madam Mayor, 9.5.
Councillor Christou, please. Councillor
Madam
Huang.
Mayor, 9.5.
Yes,
can I
Councillor.
refer you to the point 9.5? A motion of dissent cannot be moved against a ruling by the chairperson under clause 9.3b, which 9.3b states the business to be considered is ruled by the chairperson to be of greater urgency on the ground that is required decision by the council before the next scheduled ordinary meeting of the council. So there's no ground for dissent.
Yes, Councillor Huang is correct. Councillor Garrard.
You read it out for me. I didn't understand what he said.
What he's saying to you is that under the Code of Meeting Practice, a motion of dissent can't be moved against a councillor's, a mayor's, or a chair's ruling that a matter of urgency is not a matter of urgency.
Well, we're in closed committee now, aren't we?
No, not yet.
I thought we had a motion to go in the closed committee.
No, I had a point of order to deal with first.
So by virtue, I just wish to let.
So there's no dissent.
Well, I just let to wish.
But the dissent has now been relaxed, Councillor Huang. Councillor Garrard agrees that the matter can go into closed council. I understand you're withdrawing your motion.
And it should go in the closed committee, right?
That's right.
But you don't agree to that?
No, Councillor Garrard, I'm prepared to put it into closed council. Councillor Garrard's withdrawn his motion of dissent on my ruling.
I'll withdraw it.
Yes, Councillor Coleman.
Have you accepted that this is a matter of urgency, or are we discussing whether or not it's urgent in closed council?
I've ruled that the matter is not a matter of urgency as it is currently drafted.
Thank you.
And then I've moved dissent to that ruling.
And Councillor Huang has correctly pointed out that you cannot move dissent on that.
Which means I've found a loophole in the law, haven't I?
No, it means actually that...
Because it means everybody else has to abide by it except you.
It means we're actually back to where we started, which is Councillor Hughes deciding whether or not she wishes to redraft her motion in a way that limits the scope.
No, thank you.
And she has decided not to, and I've decided that it's not a matter of urgency. So we'll move on now to items by exception. Thank you, Councillor Huang. I apologise for not listening to you earlier.
Thank you.